You ever just get that feeling, that little hunch, that there's way more going on than what we can see? That maybe, just maybe, you have a lot more control over your life than you've been led to believe. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a pretty mind-bending idea. What if our entire world isn't made of solid stuff at all, but is actually a giant symphony of vibration?
So here's the plan. First, we're going to challenge how you see reality itself. Then we'll get into what energy actually is. After that, we'll talk about the language of vibration, figure out how your emotions fit into all this. And finally, the best part, we'll get into how you can start mastering your own frequency.
Okay, let's jump right in with part 1, a new view of reality. This is where we start to question, well, everything we think we know about the world we see.
So take a second and really think about this. I mean, look around you. The table, the wall, the phone in your hand. It all feels pretty solid, doesn't it? Fixed, unchanging. But what if that's not the whole story? What if that feeling of solidity is just an illusion? Kind of like a trick our senses are playing on us. What if, deep down, none of it is actually still?
And that's where we get to the core idea of this whole thing. The theory is that what we think of as the solid physical world isn't solid at all. It's actually a massive, interconnected field of energy. Everything, and I mean everything, from you and me to the farthest galaxy, is all part of this same field, just vibrating.
All right, so saying everything is energy sounds cool, but what does that actually mean? Let's break that down, because honestly, this concept is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
You know, we tend to think of energy as something we use, like electricity that powers our lights. But this view is totally different. It says energy isn't just in things. Energy is the thing. It's the literal substance of the universe. So you don't just have energy, you are energy. Your body, the air you're breathing right now, it's all made of the same basic stuff.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Even that rock sitting on the ground, something that looks totally still, on a microscopic level, it's a buzzing, chaotic dance of particles. Seriously, nothing in the entire universe is ever truly standing still. It's all just one big cosmic dance.
Okay, so if everything's just vibrating energy, you have to wonder, how does it all work together? How does it create the world we actually experience? Well, it turns out there's a language to it, and that language is vibration.
The best way to think about this is like an old school radio. There are hundreds of stations broadcasting all at once, right? But you can only hear the one you're tuned into. It's the same idea here. Every possible experience, joy, love, abundance, all of it, is broadcasting on its own frequency. And things like fear or struggle, that's just a different station. And guess what? You're the one controlling the dial. So let's break this down. It's really a spectrum. On one end, you have high vibrations. These feel light, expansive, creative. You know that amazing feeling when you're totally in the zone or when you feel just pure love? That's a high frequency. And then on the other end, you've got low vibrations. These feel heavy, dense, stuck. Think about the physical feeling of guilt or fear. It's like a weight on your chest. There's a real reason we call them heavy feelings.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting and super personal. So, how do you even know what frequency you're tuned to? Well, the good news is you don't need any fancy gadgets. You were literally born with a perfect built-in guidance system.
It's your emotions. Simple as that. Your feelings aren't just random things that happen to you. They are your internal compass, telling you exactly what your vibration is in real time. How you feel right this very second is a direct signal of the frequency you're putting out there, and by extension, the reality you're tuning into.
So let's get specific. High-frequency emotions, things like gratitude, love, pure joy, passion. Think about how those feel in your body. They're light, they're open. Now, low-frequency emotions, fear, anger, shame, guilt, those feel heavy, tight, constricting, right? Your body absolutely knows the difference, and it knows it instantly.
And now for the absolute best part, the real game changer. We're not just stuck with these frequencies. We're not victims of them. We can actually learn to master them. So this last section is all about how to get in the driver's seat and consciously start creating the reality you want to experience.
And you know what? The process is way simpler than you might think. It's just 3 steps. First is awareness. That just means noticing how you feel. No judging, no trying to fix it, just, I'm feeling kind of anxious right now. That's it. Step 2 is intention. This is where you decide how you want to feel instead. Okay, I'd rather feel calm. Simple. And finally, step 3,
focus. This is the active part. You deliberately shift your thoughts to something that feels calm. So instead of spiraling on the anxiety, you might think about your favorite peaceful place or listen to some chill music. By changing what you focus on, you literally change how you feel. You're changing your own frequency on purpose.
And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this right here. Your outer reality is just a mirror reflecting your inner world. That's it. It's not creating how you feel, it's showing you how you already feel. So if you don't like what you see in the mirror in your life, you don't go and try to smash the mirror, right? No, you change what's being reflected. You change the feeling inside. The power has always been right there inside you.
So, let's wrap this up. Don't just think of this as some cool theory. Think of it as an invitation. An invitation to stop being a passive passenger and start being the artist of your own life. Because whether you realize it or not, you are creating your reality with every single thought and feeling. So the only question is, what are you going to create?